What's going on, guys, and welcome back to Top 5 Scary Videos. Last time we saw you, we were breaking down our top 5 SCP monsters that you can't escape. Now, of course, with this being a part 2, as you probably guessed, there are more coming your way. There are quite a few of these things, so I feel like there's more than enough content. I don't know, I have an idea. Make sure you stick around at the end of the video. I'll be reading some comments from our last video, of course being part 1. Also, if you guys haven't already, make sure your notifications are turned on. That way when we do our live premieres, you can hop in the chat with us and we can all talk shop together live. I'm Taylor McWaters, and here are the top 5 SCP monsters you can't escape, part 2. And don't forget to show us some love at the end of the video and hit that like button. Kicking off the list at number 5, SCP-895, also known as camera disruption, for good reason that is. SCP-895 is an oak coffin found in an unspecified location. Of course, secret coffins for the win, ayo. Its powers are quite crazy. See, I know the title says monsters, but this is a monster. I'm gonna count these things as monsters. Like, I don't know what else to refer to them by. Like, that's the best name for them. They f your day up, okay? We'll put it like that. And if you go near it with photographic equipment, like say your phone for starters, SCP-895 will cause disruptions in your camera equipment with disturbing hallucinations. That's terrible. Imagine walking towards it like, oh, it's a neat coffin, better snag a pic. Within a range of 5 meters from SCP-895, the footage that you film can cause severe psychological trauma and hysteria. That's not a bad video to have on your phone at all times. Like, if people are being rude, you can just send that video to them, you know? Or if someone's talking on their phone on the bus, always the worst. You can just, boop, airdrop the video to them, and they're like, hang on a second. Huh. Problem solved, you're a hero. The bus driver is just gonna take you anywhere you wanna go for the rest of the day while people cheer your name. That's it. And number 4, SCP-012. This one's a fun one, also referred to as a bad composition. This Euclid class SCP looks like it's part of like a sheet music set. So the top of the page of the music, it reads, "On Mount Golgotha," which I guess was a banger back in ye olde day. That dude probably sat by a hot candle for hours just humming and like dipping, like, check it out on Spotify, let's do it. The music, however, is actually not complete. And this is where things start to take a bit of a dark turn. See, the dark red ink that's often viewed as buried dye, yep, turns out it's actually blood, as you probably guessed. Blood from previous subjects. The song isn't even a banger after all. What? It's a cacophony, lacking correlation and harmony between instruments. So don't expect to be making any sick TikTok dances with "On Mount Golgotha." So it's at least hidden in a containment chamber, thank the Lord. So if you get the misfortune of coming close to SCP-012, you will hear the not so sweet music of "On Mount Golgotha." And then you will start to cut yourself and use your own blood as ink to try and complete the score of music. But that's the beauty of SCP-012. You can't complete it. It's kind of like the game Skyrim. You'll never do it all, man. Just give it up. And coming in at number 3, SCP-372. This one is a personal favorite of the SCP family. See, SCP-372 is also known as the Peripheral Jumper. And it's a creature of unknown origins, of course, but it's about 2 meters long from head to toe, well, tail rather, and it weighs in at about 100 pounds. It has a long, thin body with 8 pairs of narrow limbs. Every part of the body is abnormally flexible, and the limbs are coated with small fibers that cling to almost any solid surface. So it's like a little thin Spider-Man type thing. So basically, this thing is like a thin boy. It's very thin, almost noodle-like, some would say, with their noodly limbs and noodle neck, I don't know. Instead of having ears or eyes, it has a yellow sensory organ, which gives it the ability of echolocation. So it's like a bat noodle, you know? And can also detect energy transfers, like the electrical impulses in our brains. So if you think you can just sneak up on old Noodle Rick, you're wrong, Buster. SCP-372 has learned to time its movements to the pulses in your brains and can predict the movements of any being around it. So it uses this technique to hide, either by hiding behind the person's head, who's looking for it at all times, or by hiding in their peripheral vision, or you can see it for a very brief second if you blink really fast. So this is the scariest SCP hands down. I would lose my goddamn mind just sitting at home looking for it like, I have floaters. That's basically what I experience every day already. Floaters suck. If you have floaters, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So how do you know if you're getting close to SCP-372? Well, upon entering its containment chamber, you hear a little rustling sound, a little. Now, okay, this means it's starting to stalk you. So if you hear the ruffles of doom, GTFO. And number 2, SCP-939. Yo dude, I think your mom's calling you upstairs. Oh, that's weird. She went to get groceries like half an hour ago. Better check it out. SCP-939 is a terrifying one, also referred to as with many voices. SCP-939 will use its previous victim's voice to lure you in. How awesome and terrifying is that? I'll tell you why this Keter class SCP kicks ass. I've only told you what it does, and you're probably already afraid of it. Wait until you see what this thing looks like. Bam! It's like a 2-meter tall, black, red, scaly, dragon type creature. It kind of looks like an alligator in a way. And one bite to the neck or the head and you are toast, my friend. I feel like I would absolutely fall for this thing's trap. So once it attracts you, as soon as it sees you, it's chasing you down to kill you. Like, it's fast. It's got 4 legs, like I said, but each leg has like 4 claws. It has 3 on the top and then one has like a little thumb. So you know this 550-pound thing is going to grab you by the neck or something with that claw thumb. I don't like things with thumbs. Like raccoons, they can just grab garbage. I don't like how they can open things with their hands. No thank you. The jaws of this monster have a bloody red color and razor sharp teeth, of course. And they're long teeth too. They're not like little baby guys. No, they're like 6 centimeters long. Imagine that in your neck. Their spines have like these 16-centimeter long spikes that are believed to be sensitive to changes in air pressure and flow. So how lovely is that? There's also no chance you can outsmart this thing either. At least I wouldn't try. I don't know. Like if I heard my name, I'm invested in finding out who said it. I'm not like one of those teens in Friday the 13th who like play it cool and slow. Like, oh, someone there? Oh, I just thought I heard something. That's weird. No, the second I hear my name, I'm like, yeah, coming. Let's go. And finally, coming in at number 1. SCP-970. Commonly referred to as the recursive room, this SCP-970 is a spatial phenomenon where a collection of rooms are looped on themselves. Yeah, it puts the curse in recursive. Haha. In any case, it doesn't matter which door you go through in this hallway. Even if you walk in a straight line, you'll just end up right back at your starting position. It's a nightmare. So the alteration to the rooms don't affect neighboring rooms and floors. So it's kind of like in Super Mario 64 when you're going up those stairs forever because you don't have enough stars to get to the top. Like, I would lose my mind in this thing. SCP-970 affects a hallway and storage room in the light containment zone. Okay, so inside the storage room is this level 1 keycard, a battery, a document, and then an empty cup. Sounds like the cool like escape room type props. I don't know, it's weird, very specific. So as the player walks through the looping doors, certain things will begin to change on you. Depending what you're carrying, certain things will just randomly disappear. So you may get injured, of course. I mean, this is a room of nightmares. I would for sure hit my head off something pretty hard. Like, I don't want to be awake for this nightmare. This next thing is just so wild. So if you keep doing these laps over and over, a dead scientist will appear in the room just rotating in midair. So, like, how do you keep going after that point? Like, I'd be like, okay, well, this is it. This is hell. I've made it now to hell. No way. Oh, also a random item can appear like on you, like on your persons. And a guard can be found standing in the hallway. He doesn't say anything. He just stares at you the whole time. He'll vanish eventually if you keep walking, but you got to deal with that first. I mean, that's good luck. If the subject is carrying any documents, one of them will be replaced by another random document. Like, imagine checking your work schedule and then all of a sudden you look and it's just something else. It's actually on Mount Golgotha. You're like, ah. Oh. Alright guys, well, before we wrap up here, let's head down to the comments for one of our last videos. This one is from Top 5 Scary Horror Movie Transformations. And the first comment comes to us from Nutjob with a Machete. Awesome name, first of all, that's good. They say, sweet, my best transformation is from before to after coffee. I'm the same, man. I mean, right now it's like 9 a.m. and I'm jacked up off of like 3.5 coffees. I'm ready to go. I have a long commute to get here, so when I get on the subway or the bus, I'm just like necking coffees. Every time, like new coffee every hour, we're doing it. I'm crazy like that. The next comment is from Law Bean, and they say, you immediately brought up the scene from The Thing with the Huskies, and no joke, I fast forward so quickly. I can't handle that scene at all. Yeah, I know, I'm the same. I have to rewatch a lot of stuff when I'm writing these videos, so sometimes I'll watch something, like a really disgusting scene at like 9 a.m. while I'm like sipping my first couple sips of coffee, and this one in particular, that dog thing part, was really tough to get through. I had to kind of drag a little bit. And last comment comes from Jexer. They say, in all caps lock too, so we hear them, "We do not talk about the dog from I Am Legend." You got it. What dog? Is that a movie? I've never even heard of it. I don't, weird. Well, there you have it, guys. Those are our top 5 SCP monsters that you can't escape, part 2. Thank you so much for sticking around. Next time, I will read the comments from part 1, and we'll do a little loop. Stay safe this Halloween. You guys rock. See ya.